In the late 1890s, the White Star Line's existing prestige liners Majestic and Teutonic, both launched in 1889, had become outmoded and due to rapid advances in marine technology. Their competitors, the Cunard Line, introduced the Campania and Lucania in 1893. In 1897, Cymric was put into service. She was bigger than the Teutonic and the Majestic, but not the largest ship in the world. Cymric was larger than Campania and Lucania, but not faster. Then, the idea was made. They would build the largest and fastest ship in the world, the RMS Oceanic, where many of Titanic's officers would start off in their careers. Now I feel like an idiot. Their new flagship, Oceanic, was built at Holland & Wolff's Queen Island Yard at Belfast, as was the tradition with the White Star Line ships, until keel was laid down in 1897. She used the luxury over speed strategy, which first began with the Cymric in 1897. She was named after their first successful liner, RMS Oceanic of 1870, and was to be the first ship to exceed Brunel's SS Great Eastern in length, although not in tonnage. At 17,000 gross registered tons, the future Queen of the Ocean cost £1 million sterling and required 1,500 shipwrights to compete. Oceanic was not, however, designed to be the fastest ship afloat or compete for the Blue Riband, as it was White Star Line's policy to focus on size and comfort rather than speed. Oceanic was designed for service speed of 21 knots. She was powered by two 4-cylinder triple expansion engines, which were, when constructed, the largest of their type in the world, and could produce 28,000 IHP, whatever that means. In order to build the ship, a new 500-ton overhead gantry crane had to be constructed at the yard in order to lift the material necessary for the ship's construction. Oceanic was built to accommodate 1,710 passengers, 410 first class, 300 second class, and 1,000 third class, plus 349 crew. In his autobiography, Titanic and Other Ships, Charles Lightoller gives an account of what it was like to be an officer on this vessel. Her passenger accommodations were laid out in a manner similar to the Teutonic and the Majestic, with first class at midship, second class situated at the aft end of the superstructure, and third class divided at the forward and aft ends of the vessel on 4 decks: the promenade, the upper, the saloon, and the main. Oceanic was launched on the 14th of January 1899 in an event watched by over 50,000 people. She would be the largest and last British liner to be launched in the 19th century. Following the Oceanic's fitting out and sea trials, she left Belfast for Liverpool on the 26th of August that year, and when she arrived, she was open to the public and press, where she was received with great fanfare. She departed Liverpool on her maiden voyage to New York on the 6th of September under the command of Captain John G. Cameron. Thomas Ismay had planned to be on board, but was at this stage too unwell. She completed the voyage in 6 days and 2 hours and 37 minutes at an average speed of 19 knots. Looking at Thomas Ismay's thing on here, and I went down into children and I tapped on Charles Bower Ismay, and this is broken, like 147 years. Like, yeah, is something wrong here or something? Alright, okay, let's keep going. Her career started off without a hitch, but in 1900, while docked at Liverpool, she was struck by lightning and lost the top of her main mast. On the 4th of August that year, or berthed at New York Harbor. She was threatened by a serious fire in the cargo hold of the SS Bovik, which was docked adjacent to her. Fortunately, the fire was brought under control before it could spread to the Oceanic. On the 7th of August 1901, in a heavy fog near Tuskar Rock, Ireland, Oceanic was involved in a collision with the SS Kincora, sinking the smaller vessel and killing 7. On the 18th of November 1904, 4 days out from New York, Oceanic encountered strong gales, stormy seas, and snow. The battering ship took from the sea stove in 2 portholes, which allowed a considerable amount of water to enter the ship. In April 1912, during the departure of the RMS Titanic from Southampton, Oceanic became involved in a near collision of the Titanic and the SS City of New York. When Oceanic was nearby, as the New York broke from her mooring and nearly collided with the Titanic, due to the large weight caused by Titanic's size and speed. A month later, in mid-May 1912, Oceanic picked up 3 bodies from one of the lifeboats left floating in the North Atlantic after the Titanic sank. Yep, it sank, but only 1% of you would know that. After their retrieval from collapsible boat A by the Oceanic, the bodies were buried at sea. On the 25th of August 1914, the newly designated HMS Oceanic departed Southampton on naval service that would just last 2 weeks. Oceanic was to patrol the waters from the North Scottish mainland to the Faroes, in particular, the area around Shetland. She was empowered to stop shipping at her captain's direction and to check the cargoes and personnel for any potential German connections. For these duties, she carried Royal Marines, and Captain William Slater was appointed in command. Her former merchant master, Captain Henry Smith, with 2 years of service, remained in the ship with the rank of commander. Many of the original crew also continued to serve on the Oceanic. In effect, therefore, Oceanic had 2 captains. On the morning of the 8th of September 1914, the Oceanic ran aground on the Shouds, 2.5 nautical miles east of Fuller's southern tip. She was wrecked in a flat, calm and clear weather. She was the first Allied passenger ship to be lost in the war. This is what Charles Lightoller said. The Oceanic was really far too big without patrol, and in consequence, it was not long before she crashed onto one of the many outlying reefs and was lost.
I'd like to thank you for watching this video. It means a lot to me, and thank you for all my support. 300 subscribers is nice.
And I'd like to give a special mention to Exocat and Packard for hitting 200 subscribers, so congratulations to them. And lastly, if you have any ideas for the next video, comment down below and I will consider making a video about it. But yes, thank you for watching.